Hi there, and welcome to the first video in my free training series. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In this series of videos, I'm going to share suggestions that you can put into action to save time, save money, and lose the frustration in planning and preparing great tasting meals for your family. Let's face it, you have a huge responsibility to provide great tasting, nutritious meals for your family. And at the same time, manage one of the largest expense categories in your household budget, namely your grocery bill. And oh, by the way, you're busy, really busy. Whether you're a mom, a working mom, or even more so, a single working mom or dad, managing all these tasks takes a lot of time. I'm a lot like you and want to be seen as that super dad or super provider for my family. And with that comes a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. I'm Tom Neeb, founder of Food Flavor Fun and author of the Taste the Flavor Cookbook. Over the past 5 years, I've helped literally thousands of people with tips, techniques, and recipes for new and flavorful meal ideas. In fact, I looked at the numbers just this morning. 32,424 people have come to foodflavorfun.com, and my 12,609 followers on Twitter and 921 Facebook fans get new food ideas each and every day. In this video series, I'm bringing my knowledge and experience to help you save time in the kitchen, put money in your pocket, and eliminate the frustration in planning and preparing great tasting, nutritious meals for your family. In today's video, you're going to learn 10 time-saving kitchen hacks that you can put into use immediately at little or no cost and put hours back in your week. Just by putting a few of these suggestions into practice, you will free up time for other important things in your life. Already doing some of these? That's great. Pat yourself on the back because you are way ahead of 90% of the people out there. And if you're not ready for all 10 of these right now, no problem. Don't beat yourself up. If you can get just 2 or 3 things that you can use right now, that's a huge return on investment for watching this video. All right, let's jump into it. Here we go with those 10 time-saving kitchen hacks, and the first one is to have a really good quality knife set, really good set of knives, and just a few knife skills. One of the most important things, there is a reason why it's number one, and I can't stress this enough. If you don't have one today, I would definitely urge you to go out and get you a very good quality set of kitchen knives. Remember that a sharp knife is actually safer than a dull knife. It doesn't skid. It doesn't do bad things. So a sharp knife is always better. A lot of people are very enamored with their electronic devices and gizmos to help them with their meal preparation or for the prep of the ingredients to go into those meals. And by the time you pull those items out of the cabinet and get them put together and plugged in and ready to go, I promise you I can be most of the way done with my chopping just using a simple knife and some very basic knife skills. I would urge you, if you do nothing else off of this list, please pay attention to number 1. Okay? All right. Number 2, and it's tied to this, and that's prep ahead. Prep ahead. Another one from the professional kitchen. You ever wonder what those people do at the restaurant from 9 o'clock all the way up to the lunch run, or in between in the afternoon, going up to the dinner run in the evening? Well, I can tell you what we're doing in there. We're doing all of the prep work to make it easy and quick to prepare those meals. In a professional kitchen, you have between 10 and 12 minutes to prepare that dish and get it out, ready to go out for the table. So here, prep ahead means when you go shopping and you bring those items home, I would urge you to take the time to do the prep work up ahead. There are 4 items that I generally use the most of, and that's bell pepper, celery, carrot, and onion. and I'll chop those up, nice even dice for all of them, and I store them in Ziploc bags, and then I'll put them in Tupperware or sealed containers and put those in the refrigerator. And then all during the week when I'm preparing meals, I can pull those out, take out what I need, seal them back up, put them back. But it takes care of all of that prep work up front, and is going to save you time in the kitchen. Okay? Very good. Here we go. Number 3. Involve others. Now here what I mean by involve others is, what I don't mean is, you know that sharp knife you got? What I don't mean is give it to your 4 or 5 or 6-year-old and have them help you chop vegetables. That is not what I'm suggesting. But where it's age appropriate, whether it's your spouse or significant other or your older children that can help you in the kitchen with some prep work or doing anything else, involve others in the meal preparation. 1, some of them are really going to enjoy it. 2, they're going to learn some life skills that they can carry with them for the rest of their lives. And 3, it's going to save you time. You spread that work out a little bit, and it's going to put time back in your day. All right? Number 4. I call it protein for the week. And I learned this from a friend of mine. We're just about into spring now, and I'm getting excited about pulling that grill out and doing some grilling over the weekend. But I learned this trick from a friend of mine. Very often he grills on Sunday, and he will not only grill the meeting for Sunday evening, but he'll grill all the protein for the entire week. He'll throw some ribs on there, some hamburger patties, some chicken breasts, some pork chops, some steaks maybe, and he'll grill all of those things up and then store those away in the refrigerator, ready to heat up for the rest of the week. Saves loads of time. A great suggestion, and thank you for teaching that one to me. I've really appreciated it. All right. Number 5, read the recipe thoroughly. I was going to abbreviate that. And what I mean by that is, be sure to take the time, read through the entire recipe, not only understand the ingredients that you need to have to prepare this recipe and have those close at hand, but also read it to understand kind of the timing of the preparation of different stages of the recipe so that you can judge that with the rest of the meal that you need to prepare. A little story that goes along with that, and it's kind of an admission on my part. Several years, this is many years back now, I was preparing the Thanksgiving turkey. I was getting ready to brine our Thanksgiving turkey. Probably one of the most visible meals of the year. And I was preparing the brine, and the recipe for my brine calls for either kosher salt or sea salt. And I discovered, hey, I don't have either one in the house. And rather than going to getting it, I made a guess, measured out, and I used table salt in my brine. And that was a huge mistake. That turkey turned out very, very salty. We made it through. People didn't turn their nose up at, but it was very close to being inedible. And it was a terrible experience to me, and I'll never again make that kind of substitution. So again, read that recipe thoroughly before taking off on it. It's going to save you a lot. It's going to save you a lot of heartache as well. All right, number 6. Make enough. I call it make more. What do I mean by make more? Make enough for leftovers. If you're preparing a meal for 4, then prepare enough for 6 or for 8. What do you get from that? Well, you get a couple of meals out of that. That's what you get to. You could either have some of the leftovers for lunch on another day, or you can get a whole nother meal out of that. So you're already in the kitchen preparing a meal. Why not prepare more and save that away? Another friend of mine, Melissa, thank you very much for this. She calls it must-go night, and that's where you have all the leftover containers of leftovers in the refrigerator, and everything must go. So those leftover nights where there's not really any meal prep, it's just warming up and everybody enjoy, that's a great way. I know I don't cook every day of the week, and I bet you don't want to either. Use those leftovers. It's a great way to go. All right, the next one. Vacuum sealer, can't spell, vacuum sealer, and the freezer. We use a lot of this at my house with this vacuum sealer. We probably wear out at least one a year. And the benefit of doing this is, especially when there's a dish that you're making a large quantity of. When my wife makes chili, for example, or we make a big dish of lasagna, then what we do is we take some of that and we put it into, you know, the plastic bags and everything, and do the vacuum seal on those and put those in the freezer. And then later on, those are going to keep for a long, long time being vacuum sealed and frozen, and you can pull those out at a later date. Again, even better than leftovers. Another thing that we do it on our vacations. Very often we rent a cabin up in the mountains. And the last thing we want to do is cook, you know, while we're on vacation. So what we do is when we prepare a big meal, we vacuum seal it, put it into the freezer, bring that stuff up with us to the mountains, and we're just heating up things and not spending a lot of time in the kitchen. And it's a great way to go. We're going to talk more about the vacuum sealer in the next video, so stay tuned for that. All right, number 8. Is keep things handy. I have a container just right around my stove that has all of the spoons that I use, and whisk, and my knife. My butcher block is there with all of my knives. I've got my favorite seasonings at hand. If you have everything that you use most often right there within your reach, then that's going to save you a lot of time going back and forth to a cabinet or a drawer or pulling things out. Just being able to reach out and put your hands on it and put it to use immediately, it's going to save you a lot of time in the kitchen. Okay? And similar to that is organize your pantry. Mine is not terribly organized, I'll admit to you, but there is kind of a place for everything, and try to put everything in its place. And that's really what I'm talking about here. In my pantry, all of the spices are over there on the right hand side, and I can just walk in, and they're not in alphabetical order or anything. I don't go that far, but they're all right there, and I can usually pretty quickly find what I'm looking for. And the bottom shelf in the pantry is a lot of the heavier jars, and in the middle section is soups and pastas and cereals and that kind of thing. And then on the eye level shelf is all of my canned goods, canned vegetables, tomatoes, fruits, different things like that, and those things are right at the eye level. So I have a place for everything, and everything's in its place. And what does that do for me? Well, when I need something, I generally can just walk into the pantry, know where I'm going to look for that, and generally it's right there. Again, saving that time in finding and organizing the items that you need. Okay, ready for the last one, which is clean as you go. This is one that I really like a lot. When you're preparing your meals, you'll finish with one pan and turn around and put it into the sink. And instead of waiting till the end when you're done preparing the whole meal and you have this huge pile of dishes waiting for you when the meal is over with, if you just turn around and rinse that pot out, rinse that pan out, rinse that skillet out, whatever it may be, and put that into the dishwasher, then you're done with that item and you don't have to come back to it. Again, you don't leave this huge mess that requires cleaning up when you've completed enjoying a great meal. We have a rule at my house, and that is whoever prepares the meal doesn't do the dishes. But that doesn't keep me from doing just this thing, and that's clean as you go. It saves time, and when you wrap up, you don't have this big mess to clean up at the end. Okay, those are the 10 items. I hope you got a few. If you can just put a few of these items into practice, you'll save hours in your week, and that's a huge return on investment of watching this video. So what will you do with the time you've saved? more time with your family, time to help kids with their schoolwork. Maybe there's time for exercise or a massage, or maybe just some you time. I'd like to share my mission with you. My mission is to share my passion for great tasting meals, saving busy families time, money, and frustration to allow more fun, joy, and great taste to come into all of our lives. And why? Because few things in life beats a great tasting meal. In closing, I'd ask a favor. Please spread the word about this free video series with family and friends. I want to thank you very much for your investment of your time in watching this video. Please drop down, leave a comment or a question down below. I will be in there personally watching and responding to those questions. And look for my next video coming out in just a few days, and that's going to be on saving dollars off of your grocery bill. Again, thank you very much. I'll ask you drop down right now, leave a comment. See you here soon. Thank you.